Hello, everyone. We're going to extend our demonstration of robotic process automation for accounting. And in this particular bit of video, we're going to take a look at the QBO files that we output last time, or downloaded last time from Bank of America. And then we're going to take a look at the process of transforming them from QBO files to IIF files, and then the import to QuickBooks. So when we start there first, so when we take a look at one of these QBO files, so I have one here that we downloaded from B of A for April. The QBO file format is a little bit wacky, and I can show this to you by looking at it in Notepad. So basically, this QBO file is not unlike a JSON file, or not unlike an XML file. But basically, it's a way to describe data in records, but sort of in a sequential kind of arrangement. So the bits of data here, so DT posted, for example, indicates that this is the date that was posted. The TRN amount is the amount of the transaction. So when we download QBO files from various places, this is what it looks like. And I also have one here for David Cervelli. So we can do the same thing and just quick look at it in Notepad. And it's the same, except there's a little bit of data in here to kind of indicate that this is basically David's and the other one was mine. Okay, so the idea is to sort of get these QBO files into a format that we can make use of. So under normal circumstances, we would put those QBO files into QuickBooks and then basically have QuickBooks prompt us for vendor number or vendor name, and then prompt us for the GL account code. That process, as you may already know, it's very tedious and time-consuming. And sometimes, Megan, didn't you have a situation where you did some amount of work on David's, and then something bad happened?
Yes, I went through the whole process of entering GL accounts and vendors, and then I went to fix a vendor, and it erased all of the work that I did.
Yeah. Okay, so that happened to me as well. And my compensating control for that was to just do a few at a time and then click import or save. A few more at a time, click save, and then I was finally able to get through it, because that happened to me too. I did a bunch of data entry and it all disappeared. One of the pieces that was useful for us in this process was to go and use an Access database. It doesn't have to be Access, but this was the easiest for us. And basically the idea is that we could take those QBO files into an Access database and then use the Access database to transform for us. So this is a snapshot of one of the QBO files, but as an Access database might see it. The idea is to go through some amount of logic in the Access database to essentially give us the output of an IIF file. So for example, with the IIF file, when it's finished, this is basically what it looks like to an Access database when the IIF file is done. So that's part of our trick for today, is to kind of go through the process of converting the QBO file to an IIF file. What we did to kind of simplify the process is to use this robotic process automation tool, which is called Automate. And what I'll do is run this is called the task manager in Automate. And then what we'll end up doing is we'll engage the task manager to go and read those QBO files into the Access database. And then in the Access database, trigger a macro to do the conversion. And then the output of that process will be some IIF files that we can use in QuickBooks. So bear with me for a moment while I go hunt for what I'm looking for. Okay, very good, found it. Okay, so basically, to kind of recap a little bit, that there is a download process. So this download BofA credit card was what we used to go and grab the data from the Bank of America website. And then this task here that I called run the load CC transactions macro. This is the macro that, or this is the task that will actually open the Access database and pull the data in for us from the QBO file, and then also output the IIF file. So let's give this a try. So once the system loads the task, it'll go through the Access database that we had just shown a little while ago. And what it will do for us is essentially hit the keystrokes necessary to go and run the macros to go through the process of kind of starting from scratch and then bringing in the data that we need from the QBO files, and then to in the last step to do an output of the IIF files. So it goes through this load a couple times, once for David's and then once for my credit card transactions. And then it does a couple other things that kind of relates to known vendors. And it will do one more thing to output the IIF file. Okay, yes. So basically all of this should have been completed. And what's happening now is that we can go to our system here, and we should be able to find IIF files.